Hello and welcome to the leveling guide from lovetoplaywar.com. And no, I am not trying to sell you some sort of fast leveling software. This guide is meant for beginners and intermediate level players, not for pros. I'm not a pro when it comes to leveling. I make mistakes. I don't always follow the fastest path. I sometimes get stuck trying to kill elites or doing some sort of quest. I don't like leveling. Leveling for me is just an impediment to getting to max level where the real game begins. So this guide is about how to get through that leveling as fast and as easily and as painlessly as possible. One thing that redeems leveling a little bit in my eyes is that, in a way, it lets me understand my class a bit better. It prepares me for max level by progressively introducing new abilities to me. Although this process should take less than it does, but well, what can you do? I do tend to have somewhat of a relaxed leveling style. Sometimes I watch TV while leveling, takes some of the boredom away. Though the downside is that I often find myself auto-running into a bunch of mobs. A decent time that you should be looking for, let's say 170, is 3 days, 180 4 days, 185 5 days. 3 days is the time it took me to get to 70 on my first alliance character, with no rested time at all, no recruit a friend, and on a highly active PvP server. And since it was my first Ellie character, I had no clue about quests, about zone, about what to do and where. Now, of course, you can do better than 3 days. I can do better than that. But, as a guideline, you should be able to get to 70 in around 3 days with some rested time and with the changes brought on to the zones by Cataclysm. I won't talk about specific zones and where you have to go if you are of a specific level. Like, for example, go to Duskwood at 22, go to Stranglethorn at 30, and so on. You don't need that. You don't want that. You also don't want to alt-tab every 5 minutes to check on which NPC you need to go next and what quests you should take from him. That takes too long and is boring and is inefficient. Strict rules don't apply. It's all about making leveling efficient and fast using a couple of simple principles rather than following a strict designated path. I've maxed leveled many characters. I don't think I followed the same exact path twice. That's because my main concern when leveling is to be on yellow quests. That's what I like. That's what I find challenging yet not boring and efficient. Light red quests are too high, green ones don't provide enough of a challenge, and mobs die too fast for little XP. Red and black quests are a no-go. So, what's my thinking process when I am leveling? I go to a new zone that is around my level. I go to the town of that zone and I take all the quests. I open up my quest log and I see that, for example, I have 5 yellow quests, 2 green, 2 light red and 1 red. It's good. It's perfect, in fact. The zone is just right. I don't know what the quests are called. I don't read them. They are just colors and locations. If I have any black quests, I cancel them. I go for the quest that is nearest to me, as long as it is not a reddish one. Once I finish the green-yellow quest that was nearest, I go to the next closest one, and so on. But if at any point during this I'm close to the town, I go into the town and turn in some quests. Who knows, maybe there is a follow-up. So you see here a paid quest assistant that can tell you if you can get a follow-up or not, can save you a trip. I don't like to use paid leveling helpers. I take my chances. I'm only going back to town if I'm really close to it anyways. When I finish the last of the furthest from town quests, I use the Hearthstone. I repeat this process until either A, all quests that are left are red or light red, or B, there are no more quests left to do. When are the quests too high for me? Light red quests are not recommended, but if they are just one or two, it's more time efficient to just do them right then and there than to travel a long way to a new zone and then come back. If I have mostly red quests in the area, I leave it. It is too high for me. I will come back later when I have the right level and I will finish them all then. If, let's say, a zone is from 30 to 40 and I am level 48, then I am tempted to stay and finish off the area even if some of the quests are light red. Which zones do I go to? How do I decide on a zone once I finished with the previous one? I select the next zone based on level and proximity to my current location. If, let's say, I'm Alliance, I've just finished the Red Ridge Mountains and I'm level 24, I go to Duskwood. Duskwood is for levels 18 to 30, so it is perfect for what I need. And it's close. If I don't know the level of an area, I check online or I use Cartographer. A tough situation to be in is to be in between the levels of the zones. Let's say I am level 30. If I go to level 20-30 zones, quests will be too small. If I go to 30-45 zone, quests will be too big. My choice is to go to a level 40 plus zone, do a couple of quests there, and when they get red, I go to another 30 plus zone, do quests in the new zone, and then alternate between the two. I also like to queue myself up for a dungeon or two that will get me through those harder levels. If both zones have red quests and I had no luck with dungeons, I take a third zone. On Alliance, for example, I alternated Stranglethorn and Arati Highlands. I mixed in Dustwallow Marsh later on. On Horde, I went Arati Highlands, Hillsbrand Foothills, and Stranglethorn. I used to avoid Badlands, Burning Steppes, Blasted Lands, Blades Edge Mountains. Weird, they all start with B. But now they are more okay. Quests have been grouped up a bit. Well, I'm still avoiding Blades Edge Mountains. That hasn't changed. As a Horde, I used to avoid the Barrens. Instead, I would have gone to Ghostlands, the Blood Elf leveling zone, using the portal from Undercity to Silvermoon. The Barrens has changed a bit. It has been cut in two by the Cataclysm. Another thing that I like to do is to go to Outland at 58, Northrend at 68, and to the Cataclysm zones at 78. After each expansion, the experience gets a boost, so if 68 took me 2 hours and 40 minutes, level 70 in Northrend took me half of that. Dungeons are a good option if you have some quests for them. For example, I recommend doing Zul'Farrak. You get lots of quests for it, people know how to do it, you get good XP. For dungeons, the speed at which you level greatly depends on how good your group is. With a good group, you would get as much XP as if you would have used that time to level, but when you turn in the quests, you get the extra bonus. If you see your group is crappy, just don't bother. On a PvP server, the fastest way to level is just to avoid PvP. Well, it's actually up to you if you wanna avoid the PvP to get a faster level time. Sometimes a bit of PvP takes you off of the monotony of leveling, so it ain't all that bad. When I meet a player of a different faction, I don't do the first move, but I don't engage any mobs either. Well, it depends on how close to me he is. I mean, if I see him far away, I go about my business, killing mobs while going away from him. If he comes close to me, I stop pulling mobs and I wait to see what his intentions are. Usually, the international sign for no conflict is a /no, but that rarely matters. If they are higher level, they will most likely engage in combat. I do love it though, when they attack me unprovoked and I end up winning. If I keep fighting a player and he keeps killing me, I just let it go. I don't worry about it, I don't get angry about it, I know I will get my revenge at 85 when I will kill thousands of his kind. For the time being, I just resurrect behind a tree or a rock and go to another area. I can come back and finish my quests later on. Sometimes, if I see the time is right, I ambush my enemy while he has a couple of mobs on him, in the hopes of getting my revenge. If you come across a level 85, they are usually in the area to farm reputation. Some are merciful and let you be. Some kill you for the fun of it. You stand no chance against a max level that enjoys killing lower levels. When this happens, I still try to get my quests mobs if the area is large enough and I have some spots where I can take cover, like buildings or trees, stuff like that. I don't always succeed. Sometimes I get killed once or twice before I manage to get my own kills, but I'm always happy if I manage to outmaneuver the level 85 player, get my quests done, and leave the area before he knows it. About Quest Helper, the famous add-on that has made all of our lives a little easier. I still like to use it over the in-game helper, at least till 58. I have the in-game one disabled by having show quests objectives unchecked. Why? Well, it is because of the levels of the quests. With Quest Helper, I can set a certain difference for my quests. With the in-game helper, I can't. They show on the map either way, and since I don't want to be going back and forth between checking the color of the quest and its location on the map, I just use Quest Helper with a level difference of 3. A level difference of 3 is what I find that works best for me when I have heirloom items. With normal items I might take it lower, but that depends on the class. You have to decide what works best for you. For any ranged class, mages, locks, hunters, you mostly want your target dead as he is just about to hit you. Hunters, some locks will pull the mob off their pet, but that's good, means the mob is wasting time running to you instead of doing damage. By the time he reaches you, he should be dead. Melees shouldn't be on mobs that require them to use bandages every time the bandage debuff is off cooldown. Thanks for watching.